Tupac hadn't even came to Death Row yet in '95 when we was at the Source Awards, and Snoop was like, "Y'all don't fuck with Snoop and Dr.
Were you
Dre."
there?
They was like blowing him. Yeah, I was there.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
Yeah, I was right there. I was in the front. When Snoop was saying that, I was sitting in the front row.
Dude, tell me about that vibe that night. I need to know. You were there.
Oh, it was crazy. We didn't know. We was tripping. Like, we was ready to shoot the shit up if we had to.
First of all, I'd like to thank God. Second of all, I'd like to thank my whole entire Death Row family on both sides, you know what I'm saying? I'd like to tell Tupac to keep his guards up. We ride with him.
Just give me a little bit of peace, steady job and some food to eat. Just give me a little bit of peace, steady job and some food to eat.
Rest in peace, Eazy-E, man. Legend. I've been hearing multiple rumors throughout all the years, man. It's just that, you know how Eazy-E died of AIDS, man, and that's that's what made me like wear more than one type of glove on, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Lord, like, once I learned about AIDS because of Eazy, faster than I learned about it in fucking school.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, like, I mean, the sex education, we didn't get into that till like 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Eazy died in '93.
Yeah.
Mom said she came in the room with a newspaper and she said, "Whatever you do," you know, I'm like 4 years old at the time. This is '93, y'all. I'm not even thinking about that. You know what I'm saying? My mom was just telling me, "Hey, look, you get older, wrap it up." And I didn't know what the hell she was talking about till I got to 8th grade. And now I understand why she said that. And I'm like, I didn't know. It was like, bro.
Yeah.
And when you say needles, bro, you know, there's a lot of stories going around saying like that he ain't just catch it from sex, bro. He caught it from somebody, like a woman allegedly like syringed like her DNA on a needle while he was asleep. Mm-hmm. And I guess, you know, he contracted it because it's amazing how he had all them children, bro. Mm-hmm. And he didn't even have, none of those babies got that.
Mm-hmm. No woman has stepped forward and said, "I have it." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, that's, like, can you imagine being told something like that? I mean, dog, you blessed, dog. God was looking out for you.
Obi, I know. Yeah, man.
Like, damn.
Crazy shit. But yeah, man, no, Eazy, that's crazy because even Suge Knight ended up going on like Jimmy Kimmel or some shit on a late night show and alluding to the fact that Eazy-E was stuck with a needle that had AIDS.
Yeah, dog, I'm going to be honest with you. If you told me Suge was the devil, I would believe.
I've heard enough stories.
I'm like, bro, I'm just saying, man, we got to look at all the facts, man. I know, what's his name, Harry O?
Yeah.
Okay. So Harry O is the reason behind Death Row, what inspired Death Row.
Yep.
Okay, and we looking at Suge like he's basically taking on those same mannerisms. And, you know, Suge didn't want the pressure for that money to come in because he knows Harry O is really serious about his business. So I believe that was, you know, the making for Suge to like really start, you know, like, yeah, he about to really chump your head off. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I've heard so many things about like, dog, committing all kinds of acts in the street and nobody's penalizing him for this. And even when he does get caught, he got a whole lawyer. He was Italian or something like that. He was bomb as fuck.
Oh yeah, he got everybody.
And he was like, dog, he was like the driving force. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you told me that's the reason why you fear Suge Knight because of his lawyers, I believe you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, but it's the lawyers that we threatened by. It ain't the side. It's that money, that pull. You know, the scariest thing to me is when somebody has two things. When you got nepotism and you got capital on your side, you know what? I'm not going to beef with you, man. I'm good.
Yeah, the story of Suge Knight is probably one of the most saddest, not really in regard to him, but just saddest for black folks, because here's a man who made $450 million, 500, turning into an empire. And if he would have just sat his ass down, he probably would still be here. He probably would be a billionaire. He probably would be on Dre status and Puffy status and things like that. But some people don't know how to accept fame, man. And he just didn't know how to sit his ass down.
Hey.
Real talk, man.
I mean, when you a juggernaut in the street and you feel like that everybody that you can just bully and take the money from, it's gonna feel addicting to you, like adrenaline rush.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we talking about the same man that allegedly, and I say allegedly, dangled Vanilla Ice over the balcony.
Right.
So, I mean, you don't get no more hands-on and rugged than that, man. That's rough.
Oh, yeah. I've heard stories from people who were there front and center. And, yeah, when you said the devil earlier, sounds like a accurate depiction from a lot of the things that I've heard.
I mean, dog, you got to ask yourself. Comes in the form of a red suit and a tie. And, you know, he's always trying to make a deal with you. It's kind of like with him, it's like the devil works like this. It's either you're going to take my shit and like it, or you're going to take my shit and leave. But regardless, you're going to leave with my shit. If that don't sound like the most twisted, fucked up way of telling you you're going to do what I ask you regardless. You don't have a choice in the matter. That's some real devil shit right there, man. Like, either way, you screwed.
I remember, now, you used to do DVDs back in the day, right?
Right.
Yeah. Talk to me about the time that Suge Knight tried to choke you out for filming him.
Oh, yeah. That's it. That's when, so I don't even remember the year, but it was when he had, I said it on the video, so when he had Death Row, the new Death Row, when Snoop left. Snoop was gone already and all that. He was gone. So they, so what happened, we used to always go to Hollywood and film them. Like when they were in Hollywood for the awards, when they used to come on Hollywood Boulevard. I don't know if you ever been. When they used to come, when the rappers and all that shit used to come on Hollywood Boulevard and walk down while all the audience is right there. Well, we used to be doing that every year. So this year, I'm filming. I end up filming Russell Simmons and SUGE talking. So I'm filming them. We already there for like an hour or something. This is after awards. So I'm filming them. They hugging and shit. I'm like, okay. So I got that on table. This white cat, he come and he like, hey, my camera just went out. He said, you got some power? I'm like, yeah, I got some power. So he like, hey, let me use your camera and I'll pay you for the footage. I'm gonna say fuck Suge Knight, right? So I'm like, I'm gonna hold my camera, but go ahead, I'll give it to you. But you know, since I make low TV, I ain't even thinking about giving him no footage. I'm just gonna film this shit and just take the shit.
And tell these kids out there before you continue, he ain't talking the little ass camera that we carry in our phones right now. We talking one that you have on your shoulder, right?
Hell yeah, hell yeah. But at that time, it wasn't even that one yet. It was a 8mm, like the little ones. At that time, I didn't even get advanced to the big one yet. I was just doing that shit, and then so when I did that, I was like, nah. I was like, let me hold it. So he was a tall white dude, so he was like, Suge was like by a tree, so he was like, hey, fuck you, Suge, you a bitch, you know what I'm saying? So Suge was like, what? Who are you? Then the white dude, like kind of walked over there, and he was like between the tree and Suge had his finger in his face, and he just still talking shit, but he ain't really, you know, I guess he was trying to get Suge to hit him. That's what it seemed like to me. But you know, so Suge got, but while I'm filming, I got the little light on the 8mm, and I end up getting, cause the shit like turned into a movie, so I got too fucking close to him, so the fucking light was on Suge's head when he turned around, and he just seen a big ass light, so he moving from the light, like, who the fuck is you? You know what I'm saying? So I dropped not dropped the camera, but I put the camera where it wasn't looking out, and I'm like, oh, Suge, what's up? He's like, nigga, who the fuck is you? I said, man, he said, where you from? I'm from Compton. He's like, man, you the police? I was like, no, I ain't the fucking police. You know what I'm saying? I told him that the dude, he wanted me to film you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the fuck he is. I don't know him. He's like, oh, nigga, well, I need the camera. So I'm like, nah, he tried to go snatch my camera. Nah, you ain't gonna get my camera, snatch it out of his hand. So then that's when his boys, Death Row niggas, Key Rock, and all them niggas came. I ain't seen like corrupting them, but I know Key Rock and a bunch of other people came. So when they surrounded me and shit, we pulling up. Me and I said, Key Rock. He's like, he's like, what's up, man? I need the camera. I'm like, man, Key Rock, you know me? He's like, yeah. So he see me. He's like, oh, Greg. Oh, that's you? I'm like, yeah. He said, oh, man, I'm going to need the camera, though. I'm like, nah, man, you can't take my camera. I got too much footage, man. I've been there a whole hour. I got all kind of shit, you know? So he like, He like, man, we gonna have to fuck. So me and him, we like tussling back and forth with the camera and shit. So I look around and shit. I'm like, damn, I'm by myself and shit. I have my post with me, but they got on one of them. So I'm like, damn. And I'm right there on top of Hollywood where they got them fucking stairs. They go all the way down. And I'm right there. I'm like, damn, I probably can take this ass with me and get paid. I know I'm gonna get paid, but I'm like, nah, fuck that. Them stairs right here and shit. I'm like, man, fuck that. So so then I told Keith, I'm like, man, come on, man, just let me delete this shit over there. No, that's what I should have said, but I said, man, come on, man, I need the tape. So he like, man, girl, I'm gonna get it back to you. Well, it was so funny because I just had seen Keith Rod like 2 days ago because he had a baby that was at my mama's daycare. Mm-hmm. So that's what was crazy. So I'm like, all right, man, just give it to me. But he never did give it back to me and shit. So I was like, damn, because like I said, that was the same. When I'm looking at them stairs, I'm thinking about Badass because that's when Badass, rest in peace, that's when they had beat up Badass around that same time. Shit, when they had jumped him in a club or some shit. So yeah, that shit that's what happened with that shit, man. So it's just pulling and shit.
Yeah.
Try to get on.
How did that lead to Suge trying to choke you? He's trying to hug you or some shit to like squeeze you?
Oh yeah, I missed that whole shit. Huh? That's the whole shit. Yeah, when we was when he said, "Hey, come here," when he said, "Who is you?" I was talking to him. He was like, "Hey, come here," and he tried to hug me. Right, that's when he tried to do that hug. But I had that's when I remembered that I was just with Swoop G from Dog Pound. I was just with him like a couple of days, a week or something before, and they was telling me how he went to sign. Swoop G went to sign with Suge, but he didn't want to sign, and Suge did the same shit. Like, "Hey, come here, homie." Took him outside. Come here, walk outside with me, and try to choke him and shit. And down there choked him or whatever. So they did choke him. They choked him and shit, but he still didn't sign. So when he put his hands around me, that's the first thing I thought about. So I get his arm off me like, oh hell no, nigga, you ain't gonna choke me, homie. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at shit. Like I said, he got small on me. Like I'm like, damn, I know he big, but he got small on me. So I got the camera in my hand. I'm like, man, I'm finna hit y'all ass fucking right in this earring. That's when Keita Rock then. That's when he called Keita Rock. Hey, y'all come here. That's when they came and shit. Then that's when everything happened like that. Shit, yeah, man.
Was that your first time meeting? Was that your first time being in Suge's presence?
Yeah, that was my very first time. Then I met him again though over my cousin's house over in Linwood. He had a fucking a party, had Lil Easy there, had Minus Behavior there. I got that shit on video too. The Minus Behavior, remember them Minus Behavior?
Yep.
Yeah, I got them all on tape. One of them my cousin and shit.
Oh, okay.
So they was all there, and Suge was there, and I seen him, and I asked him about that shit, and he matter of fact, that's the third time I seen Suge. I seen Suge again the next year, and we walked up on him. He was with Wack. Not Wack 100, but he was with Wack from West Side Power Rules. That's when the West Side Power Rules was like his bodyguards or whatever. And I had seen him at Jermaine Dupri party, and we talked. And then I seen him. I was like, "Yeah, you don't remember me? You took me." He said, "Oh yeah, you crazy right there. Yeah, that ain't crazy." I was like,
you actually do a damn good Suge impression, dog.
Yeah, but I did see his ass again the third time, but we ain't even trip on that shit the third time I seen him.
Yeah.
On some other shit. He was broke by then. Probably not broke all the way, but he didn't have the shit.
Damn,
not Death Row no more. Yeah.
Talk to me. Let's talk about the legacy of Death Row, man. How does a person go from, and from being $500 million, empire to, just now being behind bars, dog? I mean, maybe if he would have just sat his ass down. Man,
that's cocky or something, man. You gotta humble yourself, bro. Man, that shit was some bullshit. I still don't understand it. That shit is real crazy, man. Then to be in jail right now, like, you serious, bro? Like, damn, you had all that money, man. We had the West Coast, had everything, bro.
Fuck, man.
And I still think he pulled Tupac up and used him for a shield. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. They talking about you. I seen the little mob, not the mob, but the little what was that shit? The interview with the dude that was in the car. What's his name?
Yeah, I got you. Keefy D.
Yeah, when he was in the car and Keefy D say, he said, nah, everybody's saying that he used Tupac for a shield. But if you look at that video, he say Tupac stood up and it looked like he was doing some kind of dance to jump in the back seat. Now, who the fuck is gonna jump in the back seat when you're getting shot at? You're gonna go to the ground. You're not gonna jump over no back seat. And then he said like he was trying to do some kind of weird dance. Yeah, that was Suge using his ass for a target. But that's just what I feel. I don't know. Man. I mean, not for a target, but for a shield. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about the shit.
Yeah, that's one of those things, man. There's just so many conspiracy theories around it, and you're not far off by saying that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if he didn't have love for the dude, anybody would do that who doesn't have love for somebody. Which,
shit, sometimes if you want to live, you might do it too.
Yeah, just out of
instinct,
what I
mean?
Right?
Yeah, just shit, fuck it. Because I heard he did the shit before with Puff Daddy, and Puff Daddy got out his security in New York or something. He did that type of shit to a motherfucker. So shit, you did it once, you'll do that shit again. You know what I mean? Like. But I don't know. You like you say, it's all conspiracy, but shit, the shit sound about right when the way he said it.
Yeah, man, that's so interesting that now everybody's coming out with all these videos. You know, the Mob Jameses and like you said, the Keefy D and Greg Caden and it's still not technically solved, right? I mean, we know. I think we pretty much know what's up, but is it? I don't even know if it's technically solved yet. It's still an open case, right?
Yeah, I think it is still an open case. But shit, I think Keefy D probably shed a whole lot of light in my eyes. If he was there, you know what I mean? If a motherfucker was there, shit.
Yeah.
I'm glad somebody told the story because, you know, a lot of times people get killed and you don't hear shit. It's just all like, you don't know what the fuck happened. But a motherfucker who was there, shit, he probably knows. He ain't going to get in trouble. He probably really just telling his truth. But, you know, I'm sure it might not be the whole truth, but a lot of that shit.
Good evening, world. This is Tweed Cadillac, the original party rocking player. You are tuned in to Dusty Vision TV.
One other person who was obviously one of the biggest, or about to become one of the biggest moguls in rap history, not music history, back in the early 90s. I'm talking about Suge Knight. Did you ever run into Suge Knight?
Oh, yes. I know Suge. I ain't got nothing bad to say about him. Suge Knight gave all three of us collectively $1,500 a month to hold up while he was putting the label together. This is before Death Row. Yeah, man, he was with
that's an exclusive right there.
Him and DOC had a situation. It was called Funky Enough Records.
Yeah,
and they was gonna come out with that. And it was a guy by the name of Thomas Klein that had a firm in Beverly Hills, and he was a financier. And Snoop paid us, damn Snoop, Suge paid us just to hold up until he got everything, you know, up and running. So we actually that was a major situation that was about to happen for us. But in the interim of all of that, it just didn't go down. I think Thomas Klein got indicted or something happened, but it didn't go down. Okay. But Suge told me years later that he can get me out of the Ruthless contract after Easy died. You know, man, we was at a session in Hollywood at Skip Saylor's with Quick, and he pulled me to the side and said, man, I can get you out of that situation. So, Suge, man, I ain't got nothing bad to say about him either, man. Yeah. Stand-up guy to me. I mean, he went on to be a monster
changed
to others.
Changed the music world.
He ain't never did nothing to me. Mm-hmm. He ain't never did nothing to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cool, man. That's dope, dog. Well, I want to ask you about your radio show. Is that still going strong?
Man, shit, 10 years and mass.
That's dope. First
and
off,
the funny part about it,
yeah, go ahead.
I did end up interviewing Jerry Eller. Nice. He was privy enough to come to my show, you know, and him and I want to give a shout out to Kevin Slow Jam and James. He's not really doing
radio legend. I heard. You know what I heard? Yeah, I have a friend who knows him, and his health is not too good right now.
Yeah, well, I've been knowing him for years.
Really? Okay.
He's been one of my mentors.
Radio legend, everybody.
That guided me into this form that I'm in now. Told me the do's and don'ts. Told me how they're going to come and try to steal your catchphrases and listen to your playlist and listen to your show to hear the guests that you have. You know, they're not listening for you. They just want the guest contact information. And everything that man told me, came out to be true. It's like if I interview Mickey Howard today, then a week later she's on another show because they was listening to my show. So I've interviewed basically over 85% of everybody that's been on TV One Unsung, from Dionne Warwick to War to the Stylistics, the Spinners, the Temprees, the Delphonics. If I keep going, it's gonna sound like I'm bragging.
That's dope. I love hearing stuff like that, man, because that's why I started this, like I told you, is to interview the people that I grew up listening to. And how awesome of a feeling is it that, you know, not awesome that Jerry Heller's passed away, but he's gone, but you have something cemented in history, an interview with Jerry fucking Heller. And I've had people who have done interviews with me and unfortunately met their untimely demise, R.I.P. Badass LBC, and just a couple of other people. But such a good feeling, man, to know that you're putting your stamp in history, dog.
I already know that. It's been told to me by several people that I truly respect.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the line, Chris the Glove Taylor. Let me ask you, how was your relationship like with Suge Knight?
You know, it was great, you know, except for when he threatened to kill me each time.
Okay.
Other than that,
gotta talk about that.
It's like, I never talk about that. That's
okay.
just how all you gonna get.
Okay, damn. I tried to fly TV your ass. I was like, damn, maybe he will.
That ain't never happened.
No, I'm just messing.
Guys, man, I don't know. It's all up. I'll tell these guys, listen, man, you guys got this social media, bro. When we was doing stuff, we had media. It would be television cameras and cats shoving mics in your mouth. We learned back then how to not say shit.
Yeah.
You know, these little people, humans, regular puny humans, get out of here with your mic and your camera.
Shit. Nowadays, people are bragging about shit we would have kept silent 20 years ago.
They don't keep silent, bro. It's so much that we don't talk about. We don't talk about it all. We don't talk about nothing. Now, when I signed with Aftermath, they had a few projects going. It was mostly it was a girl named Kim Summers, something like that. And we were going to sign Don Robinson, but we were doing this compilation. So during the time when I signed the Aftermath, it was right before Big got killed. And he got murdered. What was it, 97? Yep. So we had just put out the compilation, and we were going to do this album with some East Coast cats, and they was like, we ain't coming to LA. They're killing us out there. And we was like, we ain't going to New York because they going to kill us because they killed Biggie here. So we all met and we did a Cosa Nostra. We went to Miami. So we recorded that whole album there in like 2 weeks. But I think we went to Miami twice though for that. But the first 2 weeks we did. So they had already put together the package and the project pretty much. We started hearing rumors about it when we was working on the one project. And then Dre says, okay, we're going to do this Aftermath thing. You know, we're all Soul Kitchen, you know, we're Aftermath staff producers, 5 of us. He was like, okay, we're going to do Firm. I was like, cool. And so I guess he had told all the guys that they had to do like music or they wasn't going to get a plane ticket. Right?
Okay.
So, and they kept asking me, so when you going to join your music club? And I would look at them like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm not, you want me to do what? They were like, hey man, you got to play some tracks. You know, Dre ain't going to have no plane ticket. I was like, bro, I'm not going if it's like that. And so they was like, okay. So I didn't do any tracks, but I was working on a few things, you know, that I consider myself mob music. Okay. Right? I was creating this new thing and I was trying to get, you know, I was working on it and working it out. And I couldn't get this one loop to stick. It was just not working for me. So I just threw it on a DAT. And I had some tracks. I played Dre a couple of tracks, but I wasn't like playing them for that. And then he goes, all right, so we're going to leave on such and such. And I was like, I thought I wasn't going because I didn't give you no music. And he started laughing. Because I was like, because I don't do demos, man. I'm cool. You know? So then you get to now trip this. We're going to the studio, so I'm not taking, you know, This is how I would produce. I would have I had that DAT with my sample that I was trying to work out, that one sample. Maybe 2 or 3 samples on that DAT. I would go and get down, dig record stores, find records, make drum sounds. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't take drum sounds and drum machines and stuff. We would go get records and make it happen. That's how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Go buy every Breakbeat Lou record.
Damn.
You know, when we touched down, hit up Ultimate Beats and Breaks, and then we had snares and kicks. So those were our kits. Our kits were always around. We could always buy it anywhere we went. So we didn't have to carry floppy disks. Like I've been seeing these dudes with, this is the floppy disk from, Make Room or some old something song.
Hmm?
You know, I'd be like, dude, you kept that? I mean, I didn't even use floppy disks. We do them in the we make music in the studio. We didn't make it at home and go to the studio and upload it. You understand?
Yeah, got it.
So there's a difference there. Like Phone Tap, Doggy Dog World, Explosive, Hello, were all done in the studio, and they were all hits.
And those were all songs that you produced?
Yeah, those. And then Stranded on Death Row was done at my house and taken to the studio, and it wasn't a hit. It was on a hit album, but it wasn't a hit.
Mm-hmm.
You see the difference?
Yeah.
So Doggy Dog World was Snoop's first #1. Now, we did work in home studios, but they had SSLs in them. So it was like you couldn't get in that home studio. You couldn't have what was in there. It was elevated. Just, it's a secret art.
When we first got signed to Interscope with Vicky Mack and Kurt Franklin, it was the same thing. You know, Snoop and all them was next door. You know, we was at Jimmy Irene's office. All the Bloods was next door, and it was like, well, you know, we heard that y'all, you know, do like church rap music or something like that. And y'all used to be real Crips, and y'all real Crips from the neighborhood. And, you know, Suge Knight and all the Bloods next door, y'all scared. We like, scared for what? You know, everybody got guns in California. Mm-hmm. What you talking about? This is how we live. You can go get Suge right now. When Suge came over, and then when Suge came over, TikTok was sitting right there. He a pyro. He knew TikTok off the top.
Oh, really?
Because TikTok was one of those, because TikTok was one of those pyros that was active in the neighborhoods, you know, with shooters and all that. So, you know, so the Father, man, blessed us, man, to go to a lot of places and to do a lot of things. You know what I mean? So it's been a blessing, man. I just, you know, R.I.P. for Mr. Solo.
Man.
My nephew.
Yeah, because it
sounds
like...
I can't even say that. I can't even say that enough, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A legacy all the way from, you know, that's a 25-year legacy when he running. You know what I mean?
And it sounds like he not only it sounds like he not only saved your life, but he saved your afterlife. You know what I'm saying? He locked it in.
Yeah, for sure. Though. So you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he locked it in. Like locked it in. You feel me? So it was like, you know, after then, me and him just started riding like really, really tough with it, and we just didn't stop with it. I mean,
yeah.
You know, one day we seen one day we was in the studio and we seen Ice Cube. He was coming in when he was doing America's Most Wanted back in the day.
Oh, nice.
And all his master rails was sitting in the studio. And, you know, like, we could have, if we was like some thieves, we could have, like, stolen them. Like, you know, yeah, could have got him. Like, I got America's Most Wanted. I got it, you know. But the thing about it is that he came into the studio and was like, what's up, y'all? We was like, what's up? You know, and to us, we was starting new, and we was like, oh, that's Cube right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. We're in the studio, we see Cube. So, you know, it was a humble experience and a blessing. So we asked him, like, Cube, what you got to say to up and coming? And he was like, man, just be true to whatever you do. Be true to what you say. Be true to yourself. And, you know, at that point for us, being true for us was rapping about what we were doing. And that was, we was going to church. We was sharing God with people. We was telling people, like, you know, we used to gangbang and how we did it. And, like, you could be positive and do something else. You know what I'm saying? And, like, life is big and, like, the world is big. And, like, you know, L.A. is the only place where it goes down at. You know what I mean? Like, it's other places. And God can take you out here. You don't have to just stay in the neighborhood in a box. Like, you can do something else. Because he showed me when I did something. You know what I mean? Because all the blessings he gave us from traveling from California and New Orleans and Louisiana to like all across the whole world, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Everywhere, to where this music that we did, you know, went to places we never even heard of or never even thought about going. And some of the places we went, like, people will save their money all their life just to go here for 3 days, a weekend.
Yeah.
To go to the Bahamas for a weekend, and the father take us over there for free. So, man, we have really had a blessed run, bro. And that's why I say for solo, bro, even I say on wax, man, even if I went to see the father, bro, all I can do is praise him and be blessed, because I done been in a lot of places a lot of people ain't been in their life. And I done did a lot of things. You know what I mean? And I'm sure being in heaven right now, solo feel the same way. You know what I mean? Like, man, you know, at the end of the day, the father gave me a good one.
I want to kind of bounce around a bit and talk about, No Limit and some of the stuff that you were, involved in. First of all, were you there when Snoop came?
I was there when Snoop came.
Oh, okay. Tell me about that.
I was there, man. I was there. I remember when Snoop came, I was talking to Snoop's dad, and I said, man, what was it like with that crazy ass SUGE? He was like, man, that dude was about to kill my son.
Wow.
I was like, damn, bro. Cause like, I thank God for y'all, man. Because like, this is a savior for Snoop or whatever. So I remember me and Snoop and C Murder. We was at we was shooting a video. I think some kind of movie C was doing, whatever. And so I looked at Snoop and I said, Snoop, tell me, bro. I'm from out here. I'm from Cali. Is Pac gone, bro? He was like, man, the man is gone.
Yeah, that was
so all them stories about he really Cuba. No, the man is dead.
Yeah.
Dude,
that's deep, man.
Sad
what was
say,
Snoop like?
It's true. Snoop very nice, very easygoing. We just did the Essence Festival like a year or two, and he just so laid back. That boy smoked more than Cheech and Chong. And if you know what I'm saying, he's just real mellow. Hey, what y'all see is him. How y'all doing? He's just real mellow. He don't be tripping on nothing. He about his money and he about his weed.
Yep.
In fact, let's get this straight out right now. On one of the documentaries, what's the guy's name? He's a lawyer who's a lawyer for Dick Griffey, says that SUGE beat up a member of the Wrecking Crew. SUGE ain't beat up no member for the Wrecking Crew. Okay? It was unknown he had a problem. They always got us confused. They always got us twisted up. Okay? Him and Unknown had a problem. What, Lonzo? I didn't go around death row like that. I didn't. All money ain't good money for me. I'm sorry, folks. That's been my philosophy all my life. I saw that on handwriting on the wall. Yeah, it was a lot of money, but I don't need the headache. I like sleeping at night. I don't like living looking over my shoulder. I go wherever I want. The other day, tell you a true story, happened the other day. I'm at Denny's over on Imperial and Crenshaw. Me and one of my folks having breakfast. And this dude walked up to this dude stepped, hey, excuse me, sir. And I could tell this cat, he was in the life, okay? Blue tattoos all over his face, blue sweatsuit, and he was one of them dudes, okay? He said, man, I know you, man. You look familiar. You look familiar, dude. Want you be on Vlad or something? I said, yeah, man, that's me. Wrecking Crew, right? Yeah. And I could tell that he was from the other side, or he was, from the blue team, okay? Yeah, man, but I was telling my girl, I recognize you. That right there, for me, lets me know ain't nobody checking for me like that. I've been the same way all my life. I've been a grown man since the 80s. Okay, if I was like that, niggas would have been got with me. I ain't hard to find. I run nightclubs. I'm out at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I was. So when I made a conscious decision not to do certain things. Okay, I don't like living on my shoulder. That man walked up to me. He was very humble. He was very polite. Now, according to his face, where he come from, if I saw him someplace else, I might not have felt that comfortable talking to him, because you could tell, he been to jail or something. I've been to a hell of a tattoo artist. Okay, but on the same token, I'm in San Diego Sunday, I took the train to San Diego. Had to do a show out there, just hanging out with a buddy of mine, doing a DJ show. And Amtrak was shut down from San Diego to Irvine, so we had to catch a bus. One of them luxury buses from San Diego to Irvine. And I'm standing in line. I got my mask pulled down because my beard was itching. And home, this white dude, big white boy. Look, Lonzo, is that Lonzo Williams? I said, yeah, what's up, man? Oh man, goddamn, Mr. Godfather, West Coast hip. Oh man, hey, I'm embarrassed as shit. I'm embarrassed. I'm the only black person on the damn bus. Big white boy is giving me all this praise. I'm walking in here. Thank you, man. Much love. He giving me dap. I gave him dap, whatever the case may be. He wanted the picture, but he had to load the bus up. But he was like, "Oh man, it's hip hop royalty." Blah blah blah. So, and I said, I'll just say this: I missed a lot of money. I may have missed a lot of money in my life, so I can sleep at night. Okay. I may have missed a lot of money, so I can sleep and go where the fuck I want to go when I want to go.
Speaking of Suge Knight, were you ever around him, or do you remember him?
Yeah, Suge was cool. I mean, when I met Suge was personal security for the DOC.
Okay.
Suge was cool as fuck. I mean, it was crazy. It was almost like if you didn't know Suge and you walked in the room, you met Suge, you wouldn't get no bad vibes from him. You wouldn't do anything. But there was another side. When he got pissed off, he would do anything. He would, he would really be that dude, So, and like I said, yeah, I know Suge. I knew Suge pretty good. But like I said, I mean, he was a super cool dude at first. But then, like I said, I think the whole CEO death row, mobster type mentality kind of flipped him a little bit.
Yeah.
Because like I say, I think he's still a okay dude, but I just think that he just got caught up in some, he got caught up in the hype of being Suge Knight, which happens sometimes.
Yeah. Damn, they created such good music, man. Were you around? Were you around during the Death Row days, by any chance?
That's funny. Yeah, I was kind of around. I was with an artist named Chocolate. I don't know if you know who Mr. Chocolate is.
That name sounds familiar. Was it the young dude from Illegal?
No. This is another dude.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Mr. Chop wrote Ice Baby.
Yes, I know the story. Now I know. I put the face to the name. There you go. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, he wrote Ice Baby. So we was down at Solar. We've done a Solar every day. We be in there. I remember when I met Snoop. At Solar. He Dre said, "It's my new artist." I was like, "Okay," because we were all freestyling in the studio. He said, "It's my new artist," and he put on the beat. And Snoop rapped for 15 minutes straight, front of head, freestyle. And I never heard anything like that. I was like, and he was his own dude. He didn't sound like DOC.
Anybody.
He didn't sound like nobody. So, this dude, and to be honest with you, Warren had been trying to get Dre to listen to their group because they had 213. It was Warren, it was Snoop, and it was
Nate Dogg.
Nate Dogg, rest in peace.
Yeah.
So yeah, he'd been trying to get him, but Dre was like, man, he didn't have time. So he finally got him to listen, and that's when he heard Snoop. So he's like, damn, yeah, this dude, yeah, bring him down to the studio. So yeah, that's when I met him. But he was smooth, laid back. He's a younger cat. He was a little bit younger than we are. But yeah, he was tight, man. He was tight. I mean, Lady Rage was there. Yeah, man.
Damn.
It was just an incredible time, man. I just met so many incredibly talented people, man. I was very fortunate.
Because when I was over there at Death Row, it wasn't cool to be over there.
Yeah, you were there in the thick of shit. Tell me about that.
I went there in the thick of shit.
How did that come about?
Well, I made a call because I seen that I wasn't really doing good over here with these guys. I knew it was like time to go. And I didn't want to fight my brothers. I just wanted them to clear, so let me go over here. They was yelling, "Fuck you, nigga, get your ass over there." And I took my ass over to the West Coast for a little while. But, it was a good thing, like something that we all needed, because I took Sam Snead over there.
Yeah.
He was doing, we put black exploitation in perspective over there. I mean, that's what we do. We master that. We mastered that. We grew up in that era, so we and Dre know that shit too. Dre been playing funk music his whole life. Yeah. So we throw Isaac K sample on, niggas know what it is, but what I'm saying, like I was saying, that's the shit that made the East Coast famous. Zap and all that shit made the West Coast famous.
Yeah.
So we was ahead of that black exploitation movement, Afro, what I'm saying? We was ahead of that shit. So, we knew to get Pam Grier for the video. We knew to do the fucking Isaac K's and the Curtis Mayfield in them records. We, what I'm saying? We built the landscape for Silky Slim and them to do what they do with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because we was those niggas that, that was our type of shit. That's all we knew.
How'd you link up with Suge?
I didn't link up with him. I linked up with Dre. I got the only thing with that was him having a partner. You're with him by default. But I never was with, Suge. I was with Dre.
Gotcha.
And when it got heavy for Dre, it was a bad situation for everybody because everybody was waiting for Dre to pull it off. And I didn't think Suge knew. I didn't think he was that slow to the point where he was thinking he could take a person's label, a person that built it, and didn't think he was going to be able to do it again.
Yeah.
I knew he was going to be able to do it again, you know what I'm saying? And I'm saying to myself, did he really think he couldn't do it? What shocked me. That he was boasting, I took the whole, I'm saying to myself, do you realize this guy he's sonically correct, the way and I guess he didn't understand that.
So you were there were you there after Dre left?
No, I left after Dre. In fact, I was the last one. Probably, when Dre left, I left first. Right after Dre left, I left.
Okay, gotcha.
And then Sam Snead got in his shit over there with them because Sam Snead was still there.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I had left already. Yeah, I had left already. But they only did that because Sam Snead was a great student of Dr. Dre and he knew shit.
When they beat him up in the studio, apparently.
Yeah, they wouldn't have did that shit. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't have did that shit on the terms, but, they thinking that this is how they do their thing, you know what I'm saying? And it didn't work. Sam Snead's still doing good, you know what I'm saying? He still got some couple of things that he's working on. He still works with Dr. Dre. He got a great relationship with Dre. So Sam ain't lose nothing.
Yeah.
He just low key, you know what I'm saying?
How was it for you? I mean, you were being from the East Coast and fucking with the West Coast. I mean, I guess the best analogy is like a blood, going over to the Crips during a big gang war because it was going down during this stupid, what the media called East versus West Coast war. I mean, how did that come about? And what did your boys on the East think about that? Was this during the time of the Hit Squad, Def Squad thing?
Well, I brought my boys from the city. They came with me. They was the Dump Boy Sight Boys. You know what I'm saying? A-Dubs, Thriller. You know what I'm saying? Nitty. You know what I'm saying? We was good. Yeah, we had our little, Dump Boy Sight Boys. We was up in there. You know what I'm saying? BK, you know what I'm saying? We had our own energy, but like I said, they was all carrying, and I had brass knuckles, so we was good, man. We ain't had no issue. You know what I'm saying? I went to work. I went to work to make the album, and then I go home. I didn't too mix with them, go to the parties with them, because I know what could go down. I'm from the street. I know what could happen. So I kept it 8 hours, man. You know what I'm saying? I was real professional, and I kept it 8 hours, man. And I watched them move, and they was moving the way they was moving. That's how they move.
Yeah.
Well, real G's don't get caught up in that shit because you know what not to do and what to do. You know where you at.
Yeah, you smart man. Exactly. Thank you very much.
Exactly. I'm just saying, I wasn't trying to be something I'm not. And I wasn't putting no weight on it, but I wasn't going to put myself in a situation where I had to do something.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? Take my ass to the studio, do some music, and go home.
Yeah.
And I had my little apartment in Woodland Hills, and I had my house up in Monticello, New York, so I was good. I'd fly home on the weekend, and I'd work, do my thing.
There it is.
Suge paid for all of that shit.
Oh, nice. Really?
Yeah, he paid for that house and all that shit, so I wasn't tripping.
Nice.
He always tell me, don't tell them niggas what you got. He said, don't tell them niggas what I gave you.
He was telling everybody that, huh?
Yeah, that was his game.
Yeah, I heard that's kind of how he controlled certain people on that label. But yeah, I'm glad you got something out of it.
Now, also, I remember one day I'm riding down Central Avenue, and I saw you and Suge rolling down the street, looking like y'all looked at me like twins. Okay, both of y'all big. How was you and Suge's relationship?
At first, it was really good because I could be a big brother to Suge.
Okay.
People don't really understand my relationship to Hollywood. Mm-hmm. A lot of actors and actresses would come to me and asked me, what do you think? Because at 31 years old, I was running the 9th largest city in California.
Okay.
And you just don't do that. You have to have something.
Awesome.
I'm not saying it was innately me.
Okay.
I say all the time that whatever I had, it was all glory be to God. It was his.
Mm-hmm.
And one day he's going to come take it back and give it to somebody else if he hasn't taken it already. But I had something where I could talk to younger people and say, look, you know, I got 663 people as employees that depend on my acts and my activities.
Right.
There's some responsibilities in what I do, and there's responsibilities in what you do. There's a responsibility to be Faison Love because people watch you and emulate you.
Is he from Compton?
He's from San Diego.
Okay.
But I had to, you know, I was called in by a network, and they asked me to work with Faison. Don King asked me to work with Mike Tyson. So I was working with SUGE.
Okay.
And one of the things I wanted to impress on SUGE was that, you know, most real gangsters, nobody know them. I mean, you know, if you really want to be a gangster, you got to dress up in a suit and look like you're not a gangster. If you walk around with a gangster badge on and a gangster sign on, you're not going to make it because they got things for gangsters.
Right.
They usually put gangsters in prison or they put them in the electric chair. They take all their property and they sell it. So maybe you need to back up off of that for a minute. I think at a certain point, and when SUGE says that C. Dolores Tucker and others were taking death row, I was there in the meeting.
They were trying to take death row? What do you mean?
They definitely were going to take it completely, and they certainly got his distribution rights canceled with Time Warner.
Right.
Because they told me they were going to do it. They told him they were going to do it. But I had stopped them in that process, in that meeting. And I said, hey, look here, this is a young black man. We don't need to destroy him. We need to grow him.
Okay.
We need to talk to him about what the words that his artists are saying mean in terms of the future, in terms of what the next rapper is going to say, because each rapper has to become more and more grimy in order to be more unique.
Right.
So we go from bitch better have my money to just bitch. You understand what I'm saying?
Got you, 110.
See, if you say that to my daughter, I'm coming out the house on you.
See?
Feel me?
They don't understand that shit, okay? A lot of cats don't understand that shit. You know, you get away with a lot of stuff when ain't no daddy around, okay?
Absolutely.
Let a daddy or loving uncle be around. You got something to deal with now.
Right.
Okay? You got something to deal with.
And then not just having to deal with me personally, but one of the things my father used to say to me about my wife was this. He would, if I start talking crazy to my wife, he would say, you know, I hope one of my son-in-laws talk to my daughter like that. I hope you're around so you can see what I do. And don't forget, she has a father.
Right.
He feels like I feel about my daughter.
Okay.
Right? So it is our relationships with each other that kind of make us who we are and create the culture that we live in. Right?
Right.
So I always tell the story. My daughter's first date, she was 16. Cat comes over in a 63 Chevy. It was purple with white interior. So I saw E Grape Street, you know, because she's going to school in Watts. And he got his homie with him. Now that's strike one. But strike two is you pull up in my driveway.
Oh, nigga, don't pull up my driveway.
You can't pull in my driveway.
No.
I can't pull in my wife's father's driveway.
No.
You know, the old folks, if you pull in a driveway,
that's disrespectful.
Right? That's disrespect.
Damn
that's
right.
not your place to park.
Right.
Then he blows the horn.
Oh.
Well, now you about to get struck out, right? Then when my daughter goes outside, he got it's a two-seater, a four-seater, but a two-door. So he pulls the bucket seat up and tell her to get in the back. That's when Pop's coming outside. See, I know this is not going to end well.
Right.
So I'm not even going to let it start.
Right.
Get out the car and, hey, homie, don't you ever come to my house again because you've done too much for me to even start explaining to you.
You don't even know how to, right.
Where you are.
You so far in the hole, I can't bring you out because you just too far in the hole.
I might fall in trying to get down there and get you.
Thank you.
So we had the same problem with rap. And then what happened with rap is people don't even understand the definition of rap. You can go to your dictionary right now, and the word rap in the dictionary means to take the blame. So if I'm the American government and I determine I'm going to make money for drugs that's coming out of Nicaragua so I can sell arms in the Middle East, somebody got to get blamed for it, right?
Right. Might got to take the
So
rap.
I create this group of young blacks. I put this image on them, and watch this. Other young blacks emulate that image. They play that music. They rap that music. That music is coming out your car. And guess what? When you get to court, you have taken on the image of one who is going to and is designed to take the blame. Literally, number 2 in Webster's. After to take the blame, to take the fall. So you got hundreds of thousands of black men who went to the pen in their 20s, they now in their 50s and their 60s, and what did they have? They was just taking an ounce or a pound or what have you from here to there. They didn't even own the dope.
Right. They just transport.
They just transporting and they ain't getting out. And Lord have mercy, if it was already rocked up, they gone. Feel me? So we have to be, as a people, wise. And so, man, I love a good beat like anybody else. You feel me? I love a good beat like anybody else.
They call the Pied Pipers to get the rats out the city.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
They call the Pied Piper, and they want to get the rats out the city. They call the Pied Piper.
And in order for you not to follow that music, listen, you must have a transfusion of your mentality. We got to get you out of the mentality that the major culture is trying to put you into and make you emulate. And you're going to have some brothers that are saying, look, man, no, you can't do that, brother.
And Tams, I think that was a respect for, I think that might have had something to do, Bone might have had something to do with that one. I think if Bone works with Dre, I think Bone might have something to do with that, just to show some love for the CPT and maybe some love for Terry Carter. I'm not sure, Doc.
Okay, and see, a lot of other people, I've heard the negative aspect of that Tam situation, and so you flipped it in a positive. I didn't even think of Cleavon, which he was involved in that, but they're trying to say that was a shot at Suge Knight. I don't think Dr. Dre would do that.
I don't think so. I don't think that was a shot at Suge Knight. That was too big. The last thing they want to do is shoot a Suge. They got to shoot a Suge for nothing. The fact that they on that stage and rocking the universe. A buddy of mine say, man, do you know it's people in submarines watching this shit right now? It's people, it's brothers in Alaska, in huts, in igloos, and people in tents, and people in submarines around the world that are watching this right now.
Just give me a little bit of peace, steady job and some food to eat. Just give me a little bit of peace, steady job and some food to eat. Just give me a little bit of peace.